Hello everybody on the first lesson. In the upcoming videos we will learn the C++ language. I will try to cover all the subjects about the C++ from the beginner to the expert level. After you watch all my videos, you should be able to create your own programs. Before we start the adventure with the programming, I want to explain you what the programming is. Firstly, let's focus on the word language. What is language? Well, let's make a comparison. Right now, I am talking to you and I am using English language. So, we are using some kind of code to communicate with each other, right? And that thing is called language. We understand each other only because we both know that code. Code, in our situation, is made of words, and each of that word has got some kind of meaning which we all understand. That's why we can communicate with each other. But there is a problem with computers. When we look at our PC, which stands for personal computer, we can say to him something like, "Hello, PC, bring me some beer." Well, if he understood it, probably if our computer had something that could let him move, he would bring it, right? Okay, but it doesn't understand it. As you can see here, I'm not drinking anything now. So we need to talk to him with the language that he can understand. So, what is that language? Well, that language is programming language. Programming means creating understandable instructions, orders, that will be followed by our computers. If that instructions must be understandable, we need to talk in the language that our PC is talking in. The language that our computers know is created of numbers 01010101011110. Why are that 0 and 1s? That subject is connected with electricity, exactly with pulses. Our computer can read only 2 pulses, 0s and 1s. And every message, every word, every instruction is sent to computer using different sets of the 0s and 1s. As you might have already noticed, it would be probably hard for us to use that language, and for sure it would take lots of time to create anything. Because of that, people created something between computers' language and between ours language. Well, to be honest, there have been created many languages like that. But we will focus on the C++ language. Now, using the C++ language, we could write, for example, something like get character and add at the end semicolons, and it would say to the computer something like get character from some kind of output. But as you can see, it is still not the language that our computer uses. It's not 011001. So our PC still can't understand it. We need something that could translate C++ language to the 0011 language. And that thing is called compiler. Okay, the process of translating languages is called compiling. when you compile a program using the compiler, you are doing many other things, like checking the syntax of our language. So it's checking if we hadn't made any mistakes. It's linking libraries, it's optimizing programs, and many other things. But I don't want to go into these details right now. Let's rather focus on things that really matters right now. We need a compiler to start our adventure with the programming. We also need an editor that will help us write programs in the C++ language. It would be also nice if that editor had many additional functions that would help us writing programs. And that editor with all that functions and the compiler is called IDE, which stands for Integrated Development Environment. So IDE is some kind of set of programs that will help us writing new programs, and after compiling them, we can run them on our PC. So let's download IDE. It is called Code Blocks. It is free one, it's good I think, so we'll be using it. Let's look for downloads label. Now let's use download the binary release. I am using right now Windows 7, so I will download that thing here, and I will click, for example, on that mirror. I will click download, save file, and let's wait a second. Okay, as we can see, the download process has been completed, so let's install it. Okay, here we have got the wizard setup. Let's click next, let's read the license, and click I agree. Now, as we can see, we can customize here it a bit, but let's just click next, and next. And let's wait a second. Here we are being asked if we want to run code blocks now. Yes, I will click tag. It means yes. I'm using Windows Home Premium and unlikely I can't change the Windows language to English. So I'm sorry for that, but don't worry, I will translate everything. So now we have just opened the IDE, Integrated Development Environment, so we can create a file. We will click File, New, Empty File. And I will write right now a very simple program. I will write it as fast as possible so you won't lose your precious time. Okay, now I will add cout hello world, and I just click the Ctrl plus S, which stands for Ctrl plus save, and here we can choose the name of the file, and here we can choose the type of our file. We'll write, for example, our first program .cpp. CPP is an extension. It stands for C++. Well, we are using the C++ language. We'll choose the type to C/C++ files, and here I'll click the zapisz, which means save. I'm just using some code and I will explain everything in next lesson, so don't worry about all this stuff that I wrote here. Because our program is now saved, you can click on the build, and here we have a build and run option. As we click it, we can see a console, and just made our program run. Our program says hello world, and after it we can see a few lines with additional informations which are added by our IDE. Normally, if you are using other IDE, you have to stop your program manually. Remember to add them at the end instruction like that. System, pause, and at the end the semicolons. But we don't need to use it because we are using that IDE which help us. As you can see, IDE is coloring our syntax and it will for sure help us writing programs. Our IDE has many additional features, but we will acknowledge them in next lesson. As I said earlier, compiler is behind that build option. So if I make any mistake, for example, I write something that is not in the C++ language, for example, something like that. I can't understand it, and it's for sure it's not in the C++ language. And now I will click the build and run option. Oops, our program didn't run, and we can see here that an error has occurred. When we click on that thing, we can see on what line it has occurred. 7, right? It is highlighting that line, and we can repair it. So I can just remove that things here. I can save Ctrl+S, and now I can build and run it. As you can see, everything is working now. Okay, that's all. I'm inviting you to watch my other videos, and thank you very much.